I'd drink and brag. Said he was so brave that he even dared to enter the haunted house. The friend smiled and said that the next time there is a job, I will call you. I didn't expect it. The next day, I was invited into a sexual relationship. Get on a bus without a driver. He was sent directly to a shiny black villa. The fog is like a giant web of teeth and claws. Wrap us tightly on the dark road. The bus creaked forward. It was unusually quiet inside, except for the occasional gasp. Hardly any other movement. I was sitting near the window. The fog outside the window makes it impossible to see anything, except for me in the car. 6 more, 3 women and 4 men, all of them pale. Looked terrified. It seems that everyone. Have you just experienced something terrible? There is a depressing breath in the air. It's hard to even breathe and tell. The bus stopped slowly in front of a dark villa. The silence inside the car was broken. I looked out the window. The villa was pitch black, surrounded by fog, like a sleeping beast. Spooky. It's like opening your mouth, waiting for us to deliver it to your door. The door creaked open, as if silently urging us to get out of the car, and they were stunned for a moment, hesitating to get up from his seat. I got off last. I don't know why. I glanced back inside the car, instantly cool all over. The driver's seat is empty. That's right. The whole car has no driver at all. What's going on? A woman's voice trembled, breaking the silence. She wears very little. The cold wind made her shiver with cold. She hugged her arms, staring fixedly at the villa. Fear is palpable. How can this car have no driver? A bearded man cursed. Forget it. Let me just take a breath. Try to calm yourself down. Look at the villa in front of you. Since we were sent here, just go in and have a look. The voice just fell. The woman with the gold earring gasped. Do you really want to go in? It's so weird here. No one said a word, but everyone turned around. He glanced at the bus that had just stopped. I saw the door slowly closing. The car starts on its own, back into the fog, finally disappeared without a trace. Watch the car disappear. My heart sank suddenly. The bus is gone. Our escape route is gone. So are you going to stay here or go in? I looked at the crowd. A man wearing dark square glasses. The delicate man opened his mouth. The results of staying here, probably the same as the fat guy who jumped out of the car. When it comes to fat people, everyone's face frowns. It was a scene I will never forget. On this bus, there were originally 8 people. The fat man was the first to jump, and he was cursing. What reality show? What program team deliberately tricked us? And it turns out that when we get to the next intersection, I saw a scene that I will never forget. A bloody human skin hangs from a traffic light. The integrity of that bag. You can even see the fat man terrified before he dies. Distorted expression. Mustard drips down the traffic light pole. A pungent fishy smell filled the entire car. Now there are 7 of us standing in front of the villa. No one wants to look back at that fog again, because no one knows what's hidden there. So I take a breath, clench your fists, pushed open the rusted iron door of the villa. The dead silence of the garden. Only the clatter of footsteps on the slate. Quick! We got to the villa. Hesitate for a moment. I raised my hand and knocked on the door. Dong, dong, dong. The knock on the door was unusually harsh in the silence. It's like knocking on everyone's heart. The door creaked. After opening the door stood a teenager. The skin is fair to the point of sickness. Exquisite facial features are outrageous, even a little feminine. He gave us a cold look. Pour it in. It was a voice so calm it was frightening. No temperature at all. I was stunned for a moment. When I got closer, I found out. This boy is actually a boy, but his smile is too perfect. Uncomfortably perfect. Just like the villa itself. It takes your breath away. Come in. That fog is not safe. The boy added coldly. Hear the word fog. Everyone's face changed. Immediately rushed in. The villa is huge. The retro decoration reveals the sense of antiquity. The fire in the brazier is beating. Make our shadows long and twisted. 4 people Saturday on the sofa in the middle of the hall. Their eyes glazed over the brazier. Look numb, like the living dead. I clenched my fists subconsciously. Look around. Asked what the hell is this place? Why have we been brought here? And the man across from me looked up at me. Indifferent voice. Wait until you come out of the first blood door alive. I will tell you the answer. Bloody door. My heart skipped a beat. His eyes involuntarily looked in the direction of the stairs. The man raised his hand and pointed upstairs. The voice was cold and emotionless. You don't have much time. The blood gate will automatically open after 5 minutes. The mission will also begin. What task? Someone asked, trembling. The man lightly spit out the word alive. The air suddenly solidified. Deadly silence spreads over everyone. Someone asked in a trembling voice, what if it wasn't completed? The man slowly raised his head. Those cold eyes are looking straight at us. Then the voice of death falls. The air around seemed to instantly cool. I felt it on my back. Exudes fine cold sweat. So I take a breath. Look in the direction of the stairs. Take the first step. Let's go. Sooner or later we have to face the back pass. Come to Liu Chengfeng's gritted teeth. Brother, you are so brave. I sneered. Steady steps towards the upstairs. Is there a choice? When regaining consciousness, I found that, standing behind a blood-red wooden door, the air around is as cold as ice. Too quiet. I look around. In front of you is a magnificent group of villas, exquisite like a fairy tale. But there is an indescribable breath of death. Passing through several villas, I'm starting to notice some details. The goldfish in the pond are still swimming. The lawn in the garden was trimmed neatly. There are even uncollected garden tools in the yard. Obviously someone has lived here, but I don't know why it's empty now. Strange that this place is abandoned after all. Still abandoned. I frowned. I feel a little uneasy. And as I kept walking, the entrance of the villa in front, a well-dressed woman appeared. She was wearing a sumptuous dress, wearing a sun hat. There is a red flower on the brim of the hat. Next to him was a little girl of about 8 or 9 years old. The gentle and elegant smile of a woman in the sun. But I don't know why. I've seen her smile for a long time. It always makes people feel a little chilled. Brother, you are here too. A voice behind. I jerked back. Saw the bearded Liu Chengfo. He stood there with a relaxed face. It's like meeting real-world friends. It seems. This villa is our mission target. And I nodded my head, glancing at the woman from a distance. He's still smiling, but his eyes seem to penetrate me. It chills my back. Liu Chengfeng is standing next to me. Suddenly frowned. Pinch your fingers. It's broken. Something happened. I couldn't stop looking at him. Can tell fortunes. Liu Chengfeng shook his head, with an irrational smile on his face. I've done fortune telling, but you know what? I'm a genius. I rolled my eyes. Don't bother to pay attention to him. He walked straight to the villa where the woman was. When you get to the door, several other people also appeared one after another. The woman still smiles. Polite but distant. Wait a minute. There are still a few nurses who haven't arrived yet. After about 10 minutes, 7 people finally arrived. The woman smiled and opened her mouth. Everyone is here. I'm so sorry. I want you to take care of my mother for 5 days. She was paralyzed in bed. Intelligence has also deteriorated. My husband is not at home, and I have to take my daughter to the beach for her birthday. I can only ask for your help. Her tone is gentle. This makes me feel a little stiff for some reason. It's like reciting lines countless times. Don't worry about the money. Take good care of. I'll give you an extra reward, he added with a smile, and he led us up to the second floor. The door to a room on the second floor was pushed open. The air inside is a little stuffy, mixed with a faint musty smell. Queen bed by the window. There lay an old man with silver hair, kind face, with a smile on the corner of his mouth. But that smile is in my eyes. There is a strange smell. This is my mother. She doesn't usually talk much, but I can still understand some simple words. Woman walks to the bed, bend down and whisper a few words in the old man's ear. Then get up gently. Oh, right. I haven't shown you the kitchen yet. She smiled and led us to the kitchen on the first floor. It's a big kitchen. It's neat and doesn't look like anyone has used it. The kitchen utensils on the table are spotless. Here is the refrigerator. He went to the left side of the kitchen, opened one of the refrigerators. It's stuffed with all kinds of meat and vegetables. Neat is a bit too much. The rainy season is coming soon here. High winds and torrential rain are possible in the coming days. It is inconvenient to go out to purchase at that time, so I prepared in advance. He closes the refrigerator. He turned his head and looked still indifferent. My mother doesn't like to eat vegetables. Cook more meat when you cook for him. That's it. Do you have any questions? He smiled at us, looking at the refrigerator stuffed with meat. I feel a little uneasy for some reason. Are there really no other residents in this villa area? The woman was slightly stunned, immediately resumed his smile. It's too biased here, except for our family. No one wants to live, but my mother is used to it. That's why we stayed. One more thing. You must not go up to the third floor. Her face suddenly became serious. There is an irresistible meaning in the tone. Remember never to go up to the third floor. He smiles again, holding the little girl's hand. He left in a hurry with his suitcase. I watched them leave. I have an inexplicable unease in my heart. The moment they got on the bus, the little girl suddenly turned around. Make eye contact with me. There was a trace of deep fear in his eyes. What is he afraid of? Is it the seaside or this villa? What are you looking at? People are far away. I don't know when Liu Qingfeng got behind me again. Don't forget to make fun of. Why do you like wives? I glanced at him speechlessly. Retreat sight. His eyes fell back on the villa. There was a strange stillness in the air, like something is quietly spying on us. It's definitely not easy here. After the hostess of the villa left, the atmosphere in the hall was oppressive. Everyone found a random seat to sit down. He simply introduced himself. I sat and watched. Discovered these 7 people. Everyone's face is not natural, with an undisguised fear. The one with the ponytail. The thin girl Yan Yuping suddenly raised her hand weakly. The voice is as thin as the smell. Then how did you get on the bus? I was playing with my phone on the high-speed rail. I got so sleepy that I fell asleep. Wake up on the bus. His words seemed to open the conversation box of everyone, and everybody else started talking. I also fell asleep while working overtime in the company. I take a nap at home. Woke up right there. Their experience is exactly the same. Inexplicable lethargy. And then was thrown into a bus without a driver. This weird coincidence makes the air even more stagnant. Liu Chengfeng couldn't hold his breath. I scolded you. It's really bloody. Yan Yuping was silent for a while. Seems to be comforting myself. He opened his mouth again. Could this be a reality show created by the program team? Aren't there similar scenes on TV? His voice just fell. Liu Chengfeng immediately sneered. Reality show. TV shows skin people and hang them at traffic lights. You forgot about the fat guy who jumped out of the car so quickly. Yan Yuping's face turned pale, lips trembled slightly. But what if it's a prop? It could be fake. He's not finished yet. I can't help but speak. Not a prop. It's not animal blood. All eyes are on me. I swept them calmly. Low tone. I'm a veterinarian. Regular contact with animals. Warm blood. The smell is naturally distinct. The blood of chickens, ducks, geese, pigs and sheep has a different fishy smell, but human blood has a distinct rust smell. The blood on the traffic lights that day was human blood. As soon as this comes out, Yan Yuping trembled all over, shrank into a ball, whispering, "Stop talking, stop talking." I stopped provoking him. He turned to look at the others. Let's figure out how to spend these 5 days. That old man can't take care of himself. Exu Gi looked around and punched, frowned,